Today a poll was released. I screwed up. Today a poll was released by a polling group. I apologize for the usage of the same terms twice. And the question was asked, do you believe the U.S. is going in the right direction? Just 24% who responded to that poll said yes. Under 1/4 of the total population believing that we are heading in a direction that is favorable in their eyes or opinion. And that goes back to a couple of things that we've seen kind of become more and more evident as time has passed, which is that if you were to poll those currently in office about the direction that is being waged by the Republican majorities and in both chambers of Congress and obviously the Republican president, you'd probably get an 80, 90% in terms of their response to it. But if you were to poll actual people who live through their policies, you get a smaller amount saying, oh, yes, this is good. This is favorable. I want this. This is excellent. And that's scary because it tells you if I am to believe in a system of democracy, if I'm to believe that what I have to say actually matters, that my vote counts for something, I need to have what I voted for reflected in the people with whom I supported. Remember, Clinton didn't win the popular vote by 80%. 80% of Americans who voted didn't vote against Trump. So keep in mind that this still says even people who supported him do not like the way in which the U.S. is currently heading in. Now, one thing that also is made clear from the results of this analysis is the idea that there is a such thing as buyer's remorse, which is that you'll have a person who maybe voted for someone goes, oh yeah, I don't like this. And it also can suggest that possibly it's more than that. Maybe they're upset with how people around them act. Maybe they're upset with the constant amounts of division we have. Maybe they're upset with things in general. It's a wide ranging question. I guess it's pretty broad, but it does suggest to you an overwhelming majority are not in favor of what they believe the U.S. to be descending toward. And it's not ascension as in, we're heading somewhere, leading to a better point. Descending, dwindling, spiraling. Well, they're all terms that could be used here because that's exactly how they probably see it. And I see it to an extent as well, but the problem is the people who think things were good 10, 20 years ago, in some aspects they were, in some aspects they weren't. I don't think we've ever just had that great society, and I know we're trying to get closer and closer to it, but you have to move beyond the idea of, okay, well, I'm just going to keep reminiscing about how great the past was. The past was good in some aspects, bad in others. We can pick apart any type of issue here, whether it be wage equality, racial inequality. There's various things that the U.S. has been alleged to have gone the wrong direction with. Now, if one harkens back to their childhood, you can obviously feel that most problems were not that big of a deal back then to you because you weren't in a position to even think of those things. For example, if I were to go back to when I was a small child, the early 2000s, I wouldn't tell you about how horrible the Iraq War was or the sub-mortgage crisis in 2008 or Hurricane Katrina. Those are things that just didn't occur to me. I didn't think about. The closest one I thought about was Katrina, but other than that, none of them really freaked me out or scared me, or otherwise made me think, oh man, life isn't going as good as I thought it would be. Because when you're little, you don't think of that, and I guess that's where some people might be grading their stuff on not realizing it. It's so wide ranging. That's part of the problem with sitting and discussing it. You don't know if what you're speculating on is accurate because that question opens this whole gate for you to try and think of and ponder. So keep that take that into account. Think of what this suggests about how people's mindsets are, And realize we are a very cynical country in that aspect. You know, if 70% of us are saying it's bad, it's bad.